Good morning everyone, welcome back to the MCM Outdoor Show. I've got a couple of hours to myself, so I'm just going to head off to a patch of local woodland and show you guys how I put up one of my hammocks. I don't think I've ever done a proper hammock instructional video for. It's not going to be too technical. It's not the DD Frontline, it's just a cheap generic hammock which I've added some whoopee slings to. I'm just going to go out, relax, bit of fresh air, and enjoy the peace and quiet of the forest and take you along for the ride. Let's head out to our location. So here we are, out on the local trails, and I'm going to head towards a little patch of woodland which is fairly quiet. It's a lovely house which has been completed. Yes please. I'm hoping you find this footage is quite stable. Let me know in the comments below. There's been comments about the shakiness of certain videos, but let me know if this is an improvement, folks. Let's get to the spot, get the hammock set up. Got some bacon to cook up, and let's just go and relax. So I've got to the location. It's not the most secluded at this time of year because obviously the trees are bare, but I'm not staying here overnight, so, and it's just basically public land, public access land, so there's not going to be any problems, and if there is, we'll just deal with that. Found two trees. Without being patronising, I'm not going to sit here and tell people the correct length apart trees need to be. That is purely just an issue for common sense. It's obvious if they're too wide apart, you know, you're not going to be able to set your hammock up. Likewise, if they're too close together, there's going to be issues. I've got whoopee slings with mine, which adds a bit of length, usable length. What I mean by that is it gives me a bit of margin for error, and that can adjust the whoopee slings. But I'll get it set up and then talk you through how I've done everything. So for the Tarp ridge line, I've just got this, which is made by HANGIN hammocks. Wasn't too expensive, and I'll leave a link in the description of the video as to where you get them. It's an eBay store. Great. That's gonna be our Tarp ridgeline for a DD solo tarp. So all I've done there is the carabiner end just gone round once. You can go around a couple of times if you want, but I think that'll be fine. It's quite taut. Taking it all the way back, passed it around a couple of times, clipped this carabiner on, which has got a Prusik knot here. Comes like that, you don't have to do it yourself. I've just pulled that tight. So that's our ridge line complete. So for the tarp, this is the Solo by DD Tarps, purchased from Military Mart, local to me, link in the description below. It's 2.8 by 1.8 meters. Some people don't like using this for solo hammock camping because they think it doesn't give them enough protection. Each to their own. I've found it fine, but to throw that over the tarp, some people string it below, but it's just a matter of personal preference because there's fabric loops on the top of the tarp, so you can either let it hang below or throw it over the ridge line. I find you get a tauter pitch in that way, so that's just personal preference from me. So that's the tarp on. You get these carabiners which you can use with a sliding Prusik knot to attach to the centre. Bit of loop on the tarp itself. One on that end, one on the other end. Pull them nice and taut. Get a nice taut pitch, and all that's left to do now is peg out the four corners. Okay folks, so there's the tarp set up. The four corners are pegged out nice and tight. I mean, you can steepen the angle or lessen the angle based on how wide or how long you make your guy out points. They're just attached on the corner. I've got a bit of elastic loop just to give it a bit of play in the wind, and then these are just the standard guy lines that come with the DD tarp itself. Like I say, some people put the ridge line through these loops and let the tarp hang, but I find you get a tighter pitch if you throw it over the top. But again, personal preference. In terms of room, like I say, a lot of people say that there's not enough room under this one, under the solo tarp. I've also got the 3x3. You know, you do obviously get more with a bigger tarp, it's obvious, but I think it's fine just for little things like this. And if you've got your hammock centered nicely underneath here and there's no driving rain, it's actually, you know, it's more than adequate. So I'm gonna get the hammock set up now and show you how I do that. Okay, here's the hammock. It's just a generic tropical travel hammock by, well, I think the maker's travel proof. Weighs 467 grams and it's an extra long version. So actually my sister used this on a world challenge, but she's given it to me. Lots of people use DD front lines, which are also great. You know, a hammock's a hammock at the end of the day. It's a piece of material that you lie in. I've also got some tree huggers, and I've got some sections of metal tube. These are old tent poles which I've cut to use these on the tree huggers to attach the whoopee slings to with a Marlin spike hitch. I will show you that now. So we've got the tree hugger, which has got 2 loops at either end. That wraps around the bark of the tree, doesn't damage the tree at all, pulls down, and I've tied a Marlin spike hitch. It's really easy to do. I'm not going to propose to show you because I'm not the best at demonstrating knots, but it takes, like, you know, a second. That goes around the pole, and then the end of the whoopee slings sits on that knot, doesn't sit on the tube. That's really important because the knot is the thing that takes all the weight. If you put it on the tube or a branch, as most people use, it's going to snap and you're going to have a bumpy landing to the earth. So I've done that, and I've obviously replicated that on the other side. So all we've got to do now is attach the whoopee slings, and the hammock will sit nicely under there. Right folks, so here's the hammock. We've obviously got our working end, our head end, which I've threaded with this whoopee sling. It's really easy to do, just goes through the neck, and it's really as simple as this now. Just goes and sits on this knot. I'm going to get it set up and then I'll show you how I've done it, but literally I'm just going to put that, I'm trying to do it with one hand, apologies, but it's just going to sit on the knot. Do the same the other side. Really strong, made out of Dyneema. It's going to hold anyone's weight, even mine. And I'm just going to replicate that on the other side, and then we can adjust. There's a pull working end on these whoopee slings, which you can obviously pull to make it shorter or slacken off to make it longer, and that will have the effect of centering my hammock within the confines of the tarp, or obviously making it higher off the ground, lower on the ground, and adjust the angle of the lie, which is lots of topics and videos, and you know, the ideal lie and use hammock ridge lines and things like that. Mr. Shug Emery, I will also leave a link in the description below. He is the master of all things tarp. So let's get this fully set up and get the tarp off the wet ground, the hammock off the wet ground. Okay everyone, that is the setup complete. It's taken me about 8 minutes in total. Obviously I'm filming, which adds to it. About 8 minutes to do, albeit the weather's not particularly bad. If you go out and you practice this, practice it in your back garden, take it to the park, put up with the funny looks, and just practice, and it'll become second nature, muscle memory kind of thing. Here you can see the hammock is set up. Like I say, there's a loose end, a running end, a working end on these. If I pull on that, it will bring the hammock higher up and shorten this. Conversely, where the fabric meets there, I can just pull that and the hammock will fall down lower. Just get a fine balance, personal preference, get the hammock to where you want it, underneath the tarp, and that's it, we're done, ready to relax. I've got I brought a meth stove just to boil up some water, just for a bit of a coffee, and I've got some bacon, because it'd be rude not to come and have a bacon buttie if we're coming out for a bit to relax. A lot of you that watch the channel might wonder, have I brought a beer? I think you know the answer to that, and I'll show you it later on. So folks, getting in the hammock. Sometimes people get a bit nervous, they don't like, you know, well, they've not used hammocks before, is it going to take the weight? Listen, if it'll take mine, it'll take anyone's. You know, I'm only a skinny guy, to be fair, so it's not that much. I'm just under 13 stone, no laughing. So it takes my weight fine, but it's great. It's so comfy, and for those of you that have never slept in a hammock, it's just a really nice experience. Now, some things just to mention: that tarp is quite high off my hammock. Now I can obviously set the ridge line, the first item is set up on the tree, a lot lower, so I can bring the roof down much lower. So if it was raining and there was wind driving the rain in, that's not going to offer me much protection, is it? Because the wind's going to blow the rain in. Really simple fix: just lower the ridge line down and the whole tarp will become lower. The sides will extend further toward the ground and it's going to keep you dry. But on a day such as this, where there's little or no rain, I'm not really bothered. I'm not sleeping out under it, but obviously if you're aware, you're going to want to keep your sleeping bag, and you're going to want to stay dry, aren't you? So all I'm going to do now is well, try not to fall out, and I'm just going to relax in here for a bit. It's a great little hammock, this. It's a lovely way to just come and sit. You can sit on it, use it as a chair to cook. I'm just going to chill out for a bit, just relax, and then I'm going to get some bacon on the go and have a coffee. Then we'll pack up and we'll go back home. It's just another excuse to get out, make a video, which I really enjoy doing. Hopefully you like the stabilised footage. That's because we've upgraded the GoPro, sold the old one, and we traded it in for a newer model which has stabilisation. It's a Hero 7 Black Edition, which is much better, and it also does 4K 60. So in some of the later videos, the videos to come, you're going to see some 4K videos coming out. I'm going to stop talking because I know I'll probably bore a lot of people. So for the 6,000th time, I'm just going to sit under here now, just relax. Obviously, for those of you that have not hammock camped before, you can lanterns, torches, you can put cutlery, just hang things down from there, and it's just a great little storage place. But it's such a nice way of relaxing in the great outdoors, a hammock. So stove wise, I'm going with the trusty Trangia 27. I don't know whether it's the ultralight one, but Trangia stove, built-in windshield, bomb-proof, methylated spirit. Sometimes can be a bit hard to get them lit, but good bit of kit. I don't use it probably as much as I should do, but I've got a non-stick frying pan for the bacon today, which was kindly provided by Mountain Mike, Live Simply Films, who's taking a bit of a break from YouTube at the moment, because every now and again we all need a bit of a break. So Mike, hope you like seeing your frying pan in use, and I'm looking forward to seeing some Mountain Mike adventures very soon. Hope you're doing well, and hope you're having a good time catching up on all the YouTube videos now that you've got time from your busy filming schedule. So get some videos on soon, Mike. Can't wait to see you back out. That's the longest bacon buttie I've had to wait for in my entire life, but it was well worth the wait. Just doing one at a time so it can spend another 3 hours cooking. Finish this, boil the water, coffee on. Okay, we're in full-on mint mode, and it's time to sample the orange pale ale. Let's see what this is like. Go for a bit of an open on the knee. Just blow off the little detritus from the top of the can there. Here we go. Oh, it's a lively one. A lively one. I have orange smelling beer mitts now, but it's not exactly a bad thing. So here we go. A nice frothy head there settling on the top of the can. and immediately the woodland has been transformed into an orange glade. Let's see what this is like. I mean, I've had it before, but for you lot out there, I'll try and just convey what the taste of it. It is so nice. It's really nice. I got that from Morrison's. It's like just like caramelised marmalade. I'm not even going to say something humorous or stupid about it. It's just lovely. It's very, very easy drinking. It's 5.1%, so you don't want to have too many of them. But it's just got a lovely... It's not overpoweringly IPA as some are. It's not as hoppy as others. But there's just this lovely caramelised marmalade note that runs through it and then stays in your mouth. It's absolutely sublime. Really is. 9 out of 10. 9.2 out of 10. It's up there. It's up at the dizzying heights of the 9 pluses. So I'm just going to sit back, enjoy the rest of this can, and then I'm going to strike camp and head home. So there you go, folks, all set away as usual. Goes without saying, leave no trace as to where you've been. Tree huggers, don't leave a mark on the tree. Tree friendly. So hope you like this short video. Thanks very much for watching, those of you that stick through to the end. Really appreciate it. If you do like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Appreciate anyone that feels like they want to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, lets me know that you like what I'm putting out there and that you want to see more of it. If you've got any comments or suggestions, let me know in the box below. We're on Facebook. We've got an MCM Outdoor Show closed group. You've got to ask to join, but come over, say hello and get involved and share all things outdoors. We're also on Twitter at MCM Outdoor Show. We've also got an Instagram feed. I'll be getting out as soon as I can. Hopefully back on another wild camp, possibly a solo one this time. Go and enjoy the great outdoors, even if it's just like today, a couple of hours, and it's not an overnighter. It's still enjoyable. You're still out using your gear. You're still enjoying the brilliant, great outdoors. See you on the next adventure.